York City.
Hallo, ik ben Danny de Klerk in Italië.
Bonjour, je suis Jean-Philippe Encausse de France.
Ciao, sono Mauro Benici dall'Italia.
Hola, soy Luis Beltrán de México.
Hey iedereen, ik ben Sammy uit België.
Cześć, tu Bartosz Polski z Polski.
Ciao a tutti, sono Francesca dagli Stati Uniti.
大家好，我是 Ryan，来自台湾。
Priyanka, slides are not required. Yes.
We are live.
Yes, we are back. Thank you so much for joining again. Now it is time for a panel discussion, and this panel discussion will be hosted by Kassam.
Let's bring the panelists on the screen.
Welcome everyone.
Guys, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Kassam, you will be hosting this session. So we are handing over to you officially now. So please.
Okay. Yeah. So welcome everyone to this panel discussion. And in this next 30 minutes, we'll be discussing more about, starting your AI journey with Microsoft Azure. So I have with me the three expert speakers along with me. That is, I will introduce one by one. That is, first is Priyanka Shah. She's an MVP AI from Singapore, and she will be talking on, the career options which we have mostly with AI when we started our journey with Microsoft Azure. We have Hatim Nagarwala, his lead developer lead, community developer lead from Microsoft UAE, and an ex MVP AI. He will be talking more about the roles, the profiles which we basically get when we have this AI as a part of our job profile as a career options. I myself, Qasim Sheikh. So I will be speaking on the certification path, the learning paths, the certification which is required to kickstart your journey. And Abdul Rashid Firoz Khan is an Microsoft Azure MVP. He'll be talking more about the developers, the tools which are required in your during this journey of learning AI with Azure. So I will request Priyanka to start with, along with a quick short introduction of yours. If I have already introduced, but still, it would be great if you guys can introduce yourself once and we can start the session. So over to you, Priyanka.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Qasim, for the elaborate introduction, right? So, hey guys, this is Priyanka here. I am the Microsoft MVP for AI, and I lead the AI IoT business out of Southeast Asia, Avanad. So today I'll be, talking about some of the career options which we have whilst beginning our journey with Microsoft AI, like AI in general, right? And why I choose to speak on this particular topic is because, there's a lot of jargons out there, right? Like we talk about AI engineers, we talk of AI architects, we talk of data scientists, data analysts, ML engineers. So what does it all entail, and, what sort of career options do you have where you can kickstart your journey and onboard the AI bandwagon, right? So again, people use terms interchangeably, like even for machine learning, even for AI, even for data science. So all these terms are used quite interchangeably. So let's, break them down bit by bit, and let us see what career options you have and where you can seamlessly transition to. All right. So let us imagine that you are you are a fresh graduate out of university, and typically for at least in Singapore region where I reside, it's not atypical for universities to have courses or majors in analytics as such, right? So I have interns or graduates majoring out of data science or out of analytics as one of their subjects. So which means they are very, very hands-on with Python. They are very hands-on with, Python libraries and computer vision libraries as such, right? So in my opinion, as a fresh grad out of university, taking in computer science and data analytics as their majors, students have a right opportunity to start directly as data scientists, right? So let us, look at different categories. We have data scientists, so persons who are actually the ones behind architecting your AI journey, right? So let's say you have a given problem, whether you want to have a forecasting problem, a regression problem, a clustering problem, classification problem, then how to solve that problem, which libraries to use is something which a data scientist will come into picture, right? There's another role there for data analyst. So which means, analyzing your source data itself, how clean that data is, what, aspects of the data are missing for you to build a clean machine learning model, and basically, dealing with all your structured, unstructured, semi-structured data sources, various databases, on-prem versus cloud data storage data sources. So all that data suite entails your data analyst profile, right? So some people whom I interview, or some people who already are quite experienced and have been working in this data platform domain, probably with with SQL or with data warehouses or with other data sources like Terraform and Snowflake and all. Data analyst or data analytics is a nice career option for them, right? And that is of course a very a huge precursor to having a good ML model as well. So data scientist we covered, data analyst we covered, then we come to ML engineers. Okay, so ML engineers is a broad term, so it can be your ML developers as well as the ML ops people, the people who are actually responsible for productionalizing the ML models which you build. So ML ops again is a very upcoming nice career option as well. And for ML ops, a few years ago, DevOps and DevSecOps, even DevSecOps right now is quite a buzzword. And for machine learning, of course, ML ops is one of the upcoming and one of the leading choice, right? Then let us come to something which is called as AI engineers, right? So AI engineers is this all-encompassing term where sorry. So AI engineers is this all encompassing term where, this AI engineer or AI architect, as we say, makes these architecture decisions, right? So like, for example, let us say we have a video analytics use case. So whether we want to do it on edge, whether you want to stream the video, what sort of streaming protocol will you use, whether it is RTSP, whether it is, MQTT, AMQP, and what will be the models which you, what sort of machine learning models will you build at the edge. So a lot of architecture decisions, hosting decisions, what sort of, Kubernetes services will you use, or will you host the model as a Flask API, these kind of decisions to be taken. So this is what, I will say is in the realms of AI engineer or AI architect, right? So these are some of the technical focused jobs, right? So these are some of the hardcore technical knowledge background jobs. Yeah. So of course, with the advent of low code, no code platforms, you have other options also where you can go into these AI pre-sales, where you evangelize your Microsoft platforms, cognitive services, any cloud platform that could be, right? So where you have an understanding of how the low code, no code works. So in the case of, BizApps guys, you have your AI builder, Power Automate, Power Platform, where you can talk of how it is making business decisions and the life of business users easy. And there is this whole new sort of opening with the help of, I mean, in the fields of ethical AI and responsible AI, right? So with low code, no code platforms becoming the new normal, of course, responsible, transparent, security, and accountability are the new in things, new buzzwords. And definitely, there will be a lot of scope for this responsible AI, ethical AI. So you have testing the bias in the inherent bias in the models, making the models more fair, and then having this entire responsible AI framework set up for users to get a view into the decisions made by the low code, no code platforms. So in my opinion, these are few fields which are open for all, even as freshers or even as experienced people to start their journey into AI. So let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, that was interesting actually. And I think this will a better, set the context for what Hatim is, what I was about to say about the roles, basically when it comes to AI. So we'll let Hatim, continues with this, and then we can have a kind of Q&A session in the uh, last 5 minutes of our discussion.
Yeah,
So
sure.
thank you, Priyanka. Hatim, over to you. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Kasim, for inviting me to this panel. I'll quickly introduce myself. So my name is Hatim Nagarwala, and I lead the Azure Developer Audience team at Microsoft Middle East and Africa. So thank you, Priyanka. You actually talked about a lot of roles which are actually encompassing AI and ML in that case, and you took a lot of role names also, which is good. So let us link up to you as a developer, where you can go in AI, which streams you can actually target, and what are the necessary roles you can actually go ahead and start working on it. So there are, if I consider AI is very a broad topic, and if you want to understand where I can start today as an engineer or as a developer, what should I do next? So there are multiple roles and multiple streams you can actually go into. So one of them, which Priyanka mentioned, is about a data scientist and data analyst. So if your field of interest or where you're working on is more related towards working with data, cleaning of data, working with anything related to data in the AI space, you can actually target a data scientist role or a data analyst role in that case. You also have an option. So when you're working with a data engineer, right? So they are mostly, let's talk about just the data engineer first, right? So the data engineers are mostly responsible for building your data infrastructure and managing your data storage. And for this reason, you need someone to keep an eye of what is coming in, how that data is going to be implemented, and what are the knowledge which we want to put in terms of all this computing and all the processes which are going to happen in that case. If we talk about more of data scientists in that case, right? Data scientists are more related in terms of running the experiments or maybe building your machine learning systems, right? So there is another aspect where the data scientists folks out or have another stream which they can be part into it, which is the machine learning engineer in that case, right? So the data scientist is on the top, is a person who is very good in math, to be very honest. They typically are trained in statistics, data analysis, and on the other hand, they are also very proficient in writing in programming languages like Python, R, or SQL in that case, right? So these are very key players in the team. So if you're targeting as a data scientist role, they are more of the key players who build the opportunities and recognize what are the things which are available in your data. And in this competitive age, it is an advantage to have a data scientist, and then she or he will help you to what to do, what not to do, and attract the other team members in that case. This was more towards the data side. When we talk about the AI side of it, it's an AI developer or an AI engineer, or you can have another role, which is the AI architect. Okay. Now, how do you get to this point? I will leave up to Kasim to do that, but let's see what exactly the AI engineer and AI architect should do, right? So AI engineer is who actually takes care of all the issues related to the AI programming, developing and deploying the AI-based systems to your workload. So if you are using any, I'll give you an example, right? You are using cognitive services, or you're using any other AI-related services. The person who will help you to actually build that solutions would be your AI developer or the AI engineer in that case. The AI architect would be the one who will be responsible for putting all your AI systems and your operations and everything and manage them to make sure that from the perspective of infrastructure, compute, and how it links up to all your resources together, the AI architect would help you out in that case. So these are kind of specific roles, and which you as an AI developer, you can go ahead and start your journey with, and you can target these roles in that case. And how you can be good with that roles, I think Kasim, I will leave up to that to you to let them know with certifications, what are the learning paths, how do they reach from a level where they are just jump starting that career and then take it forward. So I leave the stage on to you, Kasim.
Yeah, thank you, Atim. That was really interesting. Like a whole bunch of we have always heard about just an about a AI engineer kind of, or a kind of AI developer, but there are different roles. There are AI engineer, then the architects, and many of the time it happens like people mix up this kind of data engineering, data scientist with AI engineer and AI
Always,
architects.
yeah.
Yeah. And yes, so recently there was a conference which I attended, and the main question was asked to me like that. Now the data engineering is getting boom. So what about AI? So, so this kind of the myths and the questions are coming in. So yeah, thank you. So I will take it up with the certifications and the learning part to continue where Hatim has left. Okay, so I will not go much into the higher certifications as such, because as we are talking about starting your journey with this Microsoft Azure as an AI one. So the very what I recommend in all of my talks is to start with AI 900. That is Azure AI Fundamentals. Okay, we have seen in our earlier learning journey too, like when we start or when we learn any concepts, it's always important to have the the command on the basics, the command of the basic concepts, basic jargons. As Priyanka said, there are many jargons in the markets about machine when it comes to AI, machine learnings, NLP, data scientists, and all neural networks and all those things. So what are they? You should understand the difference between these words. What this concepts all about, stands all about. So when we talk about AI 900, this is basically what you do in your certification. The base objective of this certification is to understand the concepts behind this AI fundamentals. AI, when you work with Azure as an AI engineer. Okay, so and I will come to the learning part, but this is what you should follow. Like first you have to go with AI 900, and then it should be AI 102. 102. Okay, now earlier it was AI 100, but it is now A 102. And what things would be covered in AI 102 is you will actually be implementing the Azure Cognitive Services. You're actually implementing the machine learning concepts along with deploying it, or how to create it, how to manage it. All this stuffs will be covered in this AI 102 examination, the certification. And the most important part is how to start learning this certification. There are many certifications you will come across. There will be AI 900, AI 102, DP 900, which goes with data path, data engineering path. But to start with AI 900 or AI 102 is what I will recommend to start your journey with AI with Microsoft Azure. Okay, and the best learning path here would be Microsoft Learn.
MS
Okay,
Learn, that's right.
MS Learn. So you don't have to jump or visit any like kind of course, there are tons of videos, tons of experts who have given their suggestions. There are many videos which comes in. There are many YouTubers. Microsoft have their own channels. Global AI community has their own channels with all the videos. Of course, this will help you in your when you're actually working with it, when you're learning it. But what I would recommend is when you start, start to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn portal is free portal. It has built with a very expertise team behind the scene. They have given you a clean learning path, where to start, what all things you should know when you will start. Okay, they will see. It is not about you will be having all the things ready in your plate when you start learning it, but you need a start. Everyone needs a start, right? So when it comes to AI, to make yourself very much keen about all the concepts, to make yourself very much clean about what you're actually working with, what is Azure Cognitive Services, how you can deploy it, how you can manage it, how you can optimize the things. cost effectively, how with the performance wise, scalability wise, everything. This will be captured. This will be covered in your two exams, that is AI 900 and AI 102. And the best learning path would be the Microsoft Learn. I will not go into much higher or more examination as of now, because I want you to start with it. So let's start with this exams, and we are there. We are here. We have our social channels. We have our global AI team to assist you or to help you in your future journey. But to start, this two exams should be your the goal for the next 1 or 2 months. That is AI 900 and AI 102. Now, by this, I will hand over to Firoz. Yes, once you read this, once you learn this, it's always, to have the implementations. So you need a tools. You know what all things you should know as a developer, what all things you should know as an engineer. I will leave it to Firoz to take it up. Firoz, to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kazam and Priyanka, Hatim. Yeah, that was really interactive to listen more, right? We have been speaking about where you start with the career. Like you see, people mostly get confused saying that what's going to be the difference that we have between like a data engineer and say data scientist, right? It was a right track to put on like where you need to start with, and I highly recommend like what Hatim was speaking as well, right? You put up your tracks together, and what Kazam was saying as well. You go with Microsoft Learn, which is said to be a right kickstart that you have. Microsoft has put up a picture clear map that we have as well, which is like a roadmap where you start exactly with and you lead to a certification. You get a global certified guide, and you also get to connect with other community folks as well. Being if you complete like a couple of certifications, but if you're an expert, you get a tag of MCT, and you get a chance to communicate with others too. Okay, that's really awesome. And there comes me. Good to join with all of you. And I'm Firoz, a quite long name, but then I go with Firoz. I'm a Microsoft MVP and the founder and CEO of CodeSilver as well. And glad to join the panel discussion with all these experts too. So I see like the development that's happening nowadays is like Microsoft has stopped saying that we support only with the Microsoft stack, right? We have been with the open source trend as well now. So AI is all like we see plenty many people coming up with AI, having a connectivity with the Cosmos DB or a NoSQL cluster that we have as such, and things are really bloomed up, saying that you go with any developer stack environment that you need. You know, Microsoft has even have their own support. You see the support that we come up with GitHub. You go with GitHub, you find like plenty many code repos that are shared by Microsoft, and you get like a complete support as well, right? You get a complete support on which Microsoft helps you with a code template of how you can develop your AI applications. So the diversity is like huge, you know. We start speaking about like you go with the Visual Studio if you're set to be on a Microsoft stack, or you say like you come up with any open source environments like let's say .NET Core that you speak about, or Java. You're going to develop applications which is going to be with the open source trends. Then we come up with your Visual Studio Code as well, and we have extensions where we can even develop extensions, right? Or if you're speaking about just like you use a Visual Studio on a .NET, we can always go with using an extension to be developed. You can put it as an artifact. You can ask your customers to consume the same as well. So it has been like we have plenty many tools that has come up with. It's not like Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code alone. We even have like third-party tools that has been started supporting with. And all away from like at top of these things, you could even see like building a chatbot is not like a finger cross situation now, right? You say that you're going to be a developer with AI. It has made things to be pretty simple. You have Azure portal, right? You don't need to be an expert that you come up with PowerShell even to spin up or anything. You go with the Azure portal, you can build chatbots just on the portal. It takes a matter of like I would say just like 2 or 3 minutes of time where you build a chatbot, right? A namesake of chatbot that you come across. And the point that Hatim was speaking about, I stand solidly with saying that yes, you need to be a mathematical expert if you're going to work as a data scientist, writing formulas, writing algorithms, right? And Microsoft has solved the crack, I would say. Like maybe if you want to be an expert with mathematics, I would say, okay, let's just know the basics of mathematics to write the formulas. That's more than enough to be a data scientist. You know, you come up with Azure machine learning. And Azure ML helps you just if you have a cheat code to say when you use a particular algorithm, let's say you're going to make a decision making algorithm or you go with any other algorithms that you come across, you just need a cheat sheet to say like when a particular algorithm can be used. And maybe a high for a mathematical functionality is more than enough when Microsoft starts writing the Python code at the back end. Microsoft still has the developer tools when you speak about developer technologies. We have Jupyter notebooks, right, which has been integrated with Azure portal, or you can even look for the other notebooks where we can integrate to. You have Python, you have R, right? We have different developer stack which has been integrated as well. So AI, you speak about AI or you speak about ML, it's no more going to be like a finger cost, right? It has made like things to be much simple, where we come across with simple developer technologies. We always like stick towards Microsoft giving with a user-friendly environment, and VS Code has made it even more simpler way having your open source trends to be integrated to. So I would simply say like you could refer for like Microsoft Learn again, the documentations like how Kazam was saying, right? You have documentations which speaks about certification with Microsoft Learn, but then you also have a documentation which speaks not just about .NET, but even with other trends, with other stacks to develop applications for AI. Yeah.
So for the just to add, like for the visual code which you just mentioned, it does comes with a few extensions too, right?
Yes.
Specifically for it is mostly with the language based and sometimes with the service kind of like
Yes,
for the
you speak.
cognitive services. Yeah.
Yeah, cognitive service, or you speak individually about Trace APIs, or you speak about Louis APIs. Yes, we have. So that's like it makes sense. Now you go with .NET, you see like artifacts, or we say the NuGet packages that are available on the store. You can pick it up, or you come up with extension. We do have services which you can call it individually, based on like you use cognitive or you use Trace API, language, anything. Yeah. That's interesting that we
Yeah.
came across it. And on top of all these things, I see like the Microsoft certification tracks, which has made simple. I see like the
Right.
global audience getting turned on towards AI, starting with the certification, like AI
Yes.
fundamentals that we have, you know, and ML. I feel like machine learning or data scientists people. It's no more like a finger cross that you need to write formulas or anything. Things are made much more simpler. You go with the portal. We were the first people who come up with the global AI to come up with a canvas. You drag and drop the components. You drag and drop the. I mean, you had a ML canvas, right? And it's still there. It's still there that we have with Azure ML. You just come up with a canvas and you drag and drop the experiments. You keep it ready and you keep the flow to be gone with running the same thing.
Yeah, it's same. It same goes with the low code platforms like the Power Apps and all. We have AI Builder integrated with it. It's just a kind of dragging and reading the business cards and all those models are the document readings are being also added into it. So we do have it's a kind of now a drag and drop, a kind of UI which is coming in rather than having all together just adding a service and dropping it in a way
That's
in a
right.
forms and all.
I see like that makes the things to be simpler.
Yes. Yes.
We are just about to focus on the logic and not on the code, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
we see the backend getting developed on the ARM template, or we see the backend getting developed with your own stack that you prefer for, and you are going to focus only on the logic that you want to come up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
So we have last 2 minutes, and if we have, I don't know, we have any Q&A, but I have a couple of questions. If there is no questions from the live audience.
Yeah.
Okay. So like my question was to Priyanka. Priyanka, basically people get confused, no? Like when they start about their AI part, they are also think ML or machine learning as an altogether different track, right? With the AI, like they have ML Studio, they talk about ML Studio and all those stuff. So how this goes? Like quick last 1 minute kind of. So how this goes?
See, the thing, typically when there are two sets of people, right? So one is whenever they think ML, they think rocket science. Like, oh, this is not my cup of tea. It's all rocket science. You are coding, I don't know, probably, sitting in some sci-fi lab and coding something which is out to destroy the humankind. So that is one perception. The other perception is whatever you do, right? I mean, even if you're doing some very run-of-the-mill marketing strategy, people wrap it in the AI wrapper and try to sell it off, right? So there are like two extreme ends of the spectrum. So I think it's important for us that it is neither rocket science, but at the same time neither it is every single thing which you do, every smart thing which you do, even robotic process automation, not everything is AI, right? So another thing which I also, one trend which I see is it is good that there are a lot of these low code no code platforms available and easy tools and toolkits and frameworks for people, for techs and non-techs alike to be inclusive, to feel inclusive in this AI journey. But then people take a few low code no code tutorials and they feel they are equipped enough to right away jump into AI projects. So that is also a caution, right? So it is good to get familiarized, it is good to get your hands dirty and get a taste of what are some of the regression problems, how easily you can solve it, vis-a-vis how difficult it will be if you were to write every single line of code. So get an experience with these platforms, but that does not substitute your knowledge or your coding skill sets. So Python is a must have skill if you are really targeting a data scientist or ML engineer profile, definitely, right? And experience with all the ML ops frameworks, toolkits, version control, productionalizing your ML models. There is no substitute for that. You can use low code platforms. Definitely, they are a plus in your repertoire. They are good to have in your repertoire, but that doesn't exclude you from getting your technical basics right.
Okay, I think we have 60 over time. So thank you everyone, Hatim, Firoz, Priyanka, for joining for this discussion today. Thank you, Global AI team, for having this topic for the starting the AI journey in this global event, and looking forward for more such interesting events ahead. Thank you and very best of luck. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
everyone for joining
Thank
us
you so
today.
much.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Participating.
thank you.
Thanks for the interesting discussions.
Yeah. Thank you.
This brings us to another end of another session. We'll see you back in a couple of seconds for the next session.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.